right, live pictures outside, snow on the ground, which 2 weeks ago was green, of course.
Yes.
And we might hold on to some of it now because the temperatures are finally going in the winter direction.
Yeah, it's even like, even in areas that got a lot of rain, it didn't melt that much snow. I mean, it takes a while,
Yeah,
you know, if you're going to do that.
There's a lot on the ground all of a sudden.
Yeah, all of a sudden it's wintry. Odd. But other signs, Brian, I mean, I don't want to talk about spring yet because it's not even February yet. But the sun angle is a little bit better than it was. You know, the worst part of the sun angle is there in mid-December around the solstice. And so we're starting to have the sun matter a little more. A day like today, you might notice that if you're in your car. I mean, if you're outside, it's not going to do you a whole lot of good, but it's a lot of sunshine out there, and the temperatures are right around freezing in most spots, 20s in the mountains. I was thoroughly checking the weather schedule a couple days ago to see if I could get today off for skiing. I couldn't, but it looks really good because it's not brutally cold. The snow is pretty fresh still, and they probably had a chance to groom it after they got a little backside freezing rain with the last storm. So the rest of today looks good. Tonight is cold, but not brutally so, into the teens and low 20s in a lot of spots. And I think tomorrow is actually a pretty comfortable day temp-wise. Notice more clouds, even an isolated flurry out there through the first half of the day. This is 11 o'clock. But by the afternoon, we're into the upper 30s to around 40 over southern Maine. So I think, again, the late afternoon looks nice. Now the sunset's pushed back a little bit, too, to I think about 4:45 over southern Maine. You actually get a little bit more daylight in the afternoon. So it looks good. Tomorrow night is cold, but appropriately so. And then we, on Sunday, start with some sun, end up with clouds and a little light snow. This system is not a big deal, as we talked about yesterday, but it's got just enough moisture with it Sunday afternoon, Sunday night, to give us a little period of light snow, especially in the mountains in northern Maine, and probably a little light rain along the coastline where those temperatures will be just a little too warm. But this is not a big nor'easter or a big inside runner or anything. It's a relatively weak wave that's just going to be working its way through. So I think as far as snowfall goes, here we're looking at a couple of inches possible across central and northern Maine. A few models have, you know, an inch maybe in Augusta and Lewiston. I could buy that, but I don't think it's a big deal. And when you get to the coastline, we're largely looking at this being just rain, light rain, on Sunday afternoon into Sunday night. So we get another shot of a little light snow Monday night, but these are all inch, 2-inch kind of deals. By the end of the week, the story becomes this piece of the polar vortex breaking off. And so this is counterintuitive, but the stronger the polar vortex is, the less chance we have of being cold. When it weakens, we break a piece off of it, then it can slide down into Maine, which it will do on Friday, Saturday, into early Sunday of next week, and it looks really cold. Now, part of this is perspective because these temperatures historically aren't crazy, but the last couple of years we haven't done a lot of this, and so these are just, you know, surface temperatures from one model, but I think it's possible that we could get below zero along the coastline and well below zero inland, and then you look into a place like Berlin, a typical cold spot, minus 25, sure, I think it's doable. So it will be a bit of a shock to the system, and there's a chance, we don't really know yet, but there's a chance it's the coldest air of the winter because mid-February looks warmer to me. Looks like we get back into a ridgy pattern. By the time we're done with that, it'll be almost March, and you know, it could be cold on March, but based on the winters we've had lately, this might be the coldest period of time coming up this coming weekend, below zero in a lot of spots.
Okay, that's encouraging news at least.
Yeah,
we may be over the hump of
it might just be that one shot. And again, you look at the history of that, Portland typically hits zero by the end of December, but we haven't done it. In a couple of years, we haven't done it at all. So this, I think we will do it this year. I think it'll be next weekend.
All right, we'll bundle up for that. Keith, thanks.